Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mary Dodson. I am with Texas Homeless Network. I'm the COC manager. Today, from our staff, we've got Craig Fierro and Jesus DeLeon-Serratos, who's going to be giving our presentation.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello, guys. So again, thank you all for attending. We do have all of you muted, so you're in listen-only mode. But if you would like to ask a question, thank you. I think I just got muted, but now I'm unmuted. Sorry, we're playing some different roles today, so we're learning the technology as we go. If you are having trouble hearing or understanding, though, please type it in as a question so we can see that you are and do something to change it. All right, so this is the next call in our series called Bloc Talk. This one we will be focusing on HMIS as a communication tool. During other months we've focused on mental health, employment. We did coordinated access one time. So if you all have ever attended, thank you for that. And certainly if you have any topic suggestions, let us know. As I said, though, for today, we're focusing on HMIS. And we are going to talk with, or hear from, Jesus DeLeon-Serratos. And he's currently our project coordinator for the Balance of State COC HMIS. And I'll read his bio. I thought he wrote it very creatively. Jesus DeLeon-Serratos is a creative, bilingual, award-winning writer with experience in social media. He serves as the HMIS Project Coordinator for the Texas Homeless Network, which is the HMIS lead for the Balance of State Continuum of Care. Jesus' eclectic background ranges from 6 years in communications to 7 in the nonprofit galaxy, with solid experience as a journalist, radio DJ, TV writer, case manager, placement specialist, and trainer. And he was worked in theater and film production and social work. With THN, he looks forward to assisting in endeavors geared toward ending homelessness one organization at a time. Jesus believes that communications in the nonprofit field have an undetermined potential yet to be unleashed fully. You may say he's a dreamer, but he's not the only one. So I will turn it over to Jesus.
Yay. Thank you, Mary. Thank you very much. Yeah, I did write that a long time ago when I started working here, and it still thrills me to hear that. I'm gonna change the screen over here so you guys can see my screen. And again, if I'm not talking loud enough, please let me know, and I will do my best to do it. I'm nervous still. This is my first time doing this, but I'm really excited. All right, so today we're going to be talking about HMIS, or actually how to use your HMIS system as a case management communication tool. Sorry, I moved to the screen too fast. All right, well, I'm here actually to talk about things that you probably already know. I hope everybody's having a great day. USA advanced to the second round of the World Cup. Yay. In case that you guys didn't know. Or I'm sorry if you guys were rooting for Portugal or Ghana. I have a background in communications, like I said, and according to my LinkedIn page, I am the former communications manager at Goodwill Industries of Central Texas, where I actually started working as a case manager. All of that prior to my time here in Texas Homeless Network. I will try not to bore you too much. We are here to discuss HMIS and why case managers should see it less as an enemy and more like a communication tool. This brings me to my first question, and you too will have a time to ask questions. You can send us your questions. You can write them in there, either in the chat. There's also a question feature over there, or you can wait at the end of my presentation, and we probably will have some time, maybe 5 minutes, a little more maybe, to go over your queries. if you're answering, or if you're asking a question that is going to take a little more time, I might have to ask you to either send me an email later or give me a call, and we'll definitely address your questions. Let's move on to the poll then. I guess we are going to need Craig to send us the poll, because I wanted to ask who knows what HMIS is.
The poll has been launched. We're going to give it a couple seconds to let everybody answer. About 30% have voted so far. Give it a couple minutes maybe.
Maybe we need some Jeopardy music over here.
Hey, that was on your itinerary. Let's see.
That was
70%. We'll go ahead and close it. It's looking like 90% know what it is.
HMIS was one of the first things I had to memorize when I applied to my job here, obviously, HMIS. Through this, you are probably using HMIS software, maybe, and you may not even know it by that name. So just let me know, Craig, when we're ready and everybody's seeing my screen again.
You're back.
All right. Can everybody see this? What is HMIS? HMIS is a computerized data collection tool specifically designed to capture system-wide information over time on the characteristics and service needs of men, women, and children experiencing homelessness. HMIS stands for Homeless Management Information System. Typically, these are web-based systems that local homeless communities implement to enter and share client-level data across agencies about homeless persons served in shelters or other homeless service agencies. And HMIS needs together homeless assistance providers within a community and creates a more coordinated and effective housing and service delivery system. There are really a lot of options out there. Service Point is one of them. We at Texas Homeless Network use and maintain using Client Track. You don't have to download it. You don't have to install anything. It is web-based. You can access it anywhere where there is a Wi-Fi connection, that is. So I'm going to go again and ask another question. Right now, we're going to go to the next poll. I guess we need more Jeopardy music. And this one I'm asking how many case managers we have in here. So if you're a case manager, just answer yes or no. On this one, you can totally bet all your earnings because you know the answer, hopefully.
We're about 80% voted so far. It's looking about half and half so far. Let's see, any more? Any last voters? Any last bets? Got it.
Got it. And again, tell me, Craig, if I'm already on.
47% are no.
Wow, okay. Well, the homeless management information systems were first developed in the late 1990s. Last century, so we can all feel young. This was a direct response to a mandate by Congress requiring states to collect data as a condition of receiving federal money to serve homeless populations. So why do you want to keep data? Why do you want to keep all these records? In the screen right now, you're seeing how this information helps not just the people experience homelessness, but also case managers and program managers, and also advocates and community leaders. Why do you want to keep all this data? Well, you want to know what areas are more affected. You definitely want to see what services are more needed. And in general, this information provides a good outlet that can later be translated into more efficient programs, more funding, better initiatives to end homelessness. So using HMIS in reality promotes collaboration between agencies, linking clients to programs, services, and treatment by funneling all this information into one pre-built system specified by the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, also known as HUD, following all the requirements and streamlining case management into the database. So basically, in a nutshell, HUD and other planners and policymakers at the federal, state, and local levels use aggregate HMIS data to obtain better information about the extent and nature of homelessness over time. And these are some of the benefits of having an HMIS system in place. You're seeing it in there. So, no, really, why? Why are we using HMIS? Well, HMIS is your ally when it comes to record data. What are you actually getting? Well, we get all the client intake, right? We want to know demographics. We want to have an assessment of needs, better utilization. We have a better, we need to keep a better track of our services. Not just services delivered by a provider, services received by clients, and also gaps in the homeless services in a community. But I'm a case manager, right? What is a case manager anyway? If I could see you right now, I will ask that question. And I'm glad, that we know how many case managers we have here. Whether you are responsible for coordinated medical care or human services, nothing is far more important than addressing people's needs. A case manager can come from various backgrounds, but the constant remains: we care about people. When I was a case manager, the part I enjoyed the most was when I was interacting with people. It was the data entry, the bureaucracy, as I recall thinking of it, that I didn't understand. It is great to help people, but you have to keep a record of it. Otherwise, you can't justify all the good you're doing. You have to keep track of every single transaction so your funders can know where the money is going. And having that record in place is essential to be able to run programs and grow as institutions. So if you see data entry as a problem, as a barrier, or as a nuisance, well, you're clearly not seeing the whole picture. An HMIS system should make your life easier, and it does. It doesn't matter which system you use. What matters is the information you feed into it. So again, let's go a little further in talking about the benefits of using HMIS. And bear in mind that I'm not advocating for any system over the other. Any system, as long as you're keeping track of your services, of your clients, it's going to be helpful. And these are some of the benefits that your clients, men, women, and children, may experience when you have an HMIS system in place. I'm going to put a really, really weird scenario over here. Maybe this can help also to gather some of the other, or tackle some of the other issues that sometimes we very easily miss, and why it's important to have this communication. Let's say that you have a client who becomes violent, and then eventually becomes a persona non grata, and he's banned from your facility. But then he returns 5 years later, and you have a whole new staff who knows nothing about that incident. Obviously, there's a file somewhere, but without a system, you are relying just on the information the client provides. You may want to know this information right at the moment of entry. This is, again, this is a rather odd scenario, but these odd scenarios are possible, and we need to be prepared to face them. So you can streamline your referral processes as well, having a system like this in place. Not just send them places, but actually know where you send them and be able to quantify those efforts. Coordinated case management is also another very interesting thing. Your organization has different programs, and clients sometimes move from one to the other, being from emergency shelter to a permanent supportive or homelessness prevention. Having a system like this helps you and actually facilitates the sharing of information within your agency. And depending on how you share within your network, it can also help the client, as well as to have a faster service without having him or her complete more paperwork. This also helps you to not have to enter more data because the file is already there. And talking as a case manager here, one less data entry task always make me happy. So for homeless service providers, the benefits also are invaluable. It's easier to quantify the services provided. This can also be translated into reports and having a clear view on who are you helping. Maybe divided by demographics, areas of service, performance reports, you name it. The beauty of having a database is that all the information you feed to it, you can transform into reports. Here in the screen, I mean, you can see, well, I mean, obviously it's going to help you to keep a better track of your client outcomes, coordinate your services within the agency, and prepare all those reports that make all your funders, board members, and other stakeholders happy. This can also eventually help shape the course of your program. As for community coordinators, policymakers, and government officials, there is also a benefit of keeping track of all this data. Now, here lies one of the biggest misconceptions about sharing information. And this I hear a lot. I don't want to share my information stored. This is something I also used to hear a lot when I was a case manager. I don't want to have my information stored or share with the authorities. And then I remember in that time, it was not Facebook as much, but I mean, it was MySpace, right? And I was like, well, like you don't voluntarily do that anyway. By using social media like Facebook or MySpace, you surrender more data about you, about us, right? That as any system like HMIS will ever do. Because frankly, when you run your reports, and those reports reach out your funders, all they're interested in is in numbers, statistics, demographics. These are the pictures that we paint with the data we collect. So policymakers, community coordinators, and legislators need these numbers to increase the understanding of the local extent and scope of homelessness. Provides an unduplicated count of people experience homelessness. Yeah, these numbers facilitate a sharp picture on how big this homelessness issue really is, and it puts it in perspective. It helps identify service gaps, or depending on how good you are providing a service. This information helps to bring even more funds to your organization because you justify it. You can just show your progress, and your progress is tied to the success of your clients. So let's go back to basics. To anyone who doubts the benefit of sharing information within a database, I have this to say. Case management is a collaborative process. It is never just you. It's not even you and the client. It involves different aspects, assessments, plans, implementations, coordination, monitoring evaluations. Whether you are helping your client reach his or her goals of employment, education, homelessness prevention, health, no matter what you're doing to meet one individual's needs, communication is key. And you have to play with others to advance. The basic concept of case management, and this is according to the Case Management Society of America, involves a timely coordination of quality services to address a client's specific needs in a cost-effective manner in order to promote positive outcomes. So the case manager serves as an important facilitator among the client, family or caregiver, the health team, the payer, and the community. It's a team effort. So this is a collaboration. We, as case managers, provide tools to our clients so they can fend for themselves. We communicate. We share and use our experiences and expertise to help them reach their goals. As case managers, we do so much out there in the field, and that is very important. I mean, some might say that that's the gist of our career. Every case is unique too. I mean, we all know that. However, the approach doesn't change. We all conduct screening to see if they fit our programs. We have to assess their needs, see what's going on in their lives, which then helps us to make a plan of action. We then put that plan into gear in hopes that we will make that difference. There is so much involved that it almost feels like cheating when you just make it as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But at the end of the journey, you may want to go back and show your client their progress. Seeing their timeline and how much difference working with you made in their lives. I mean, it was their effort, obviously, but it was your guidance too. It was a team. It was teamwork. In a career where so many lives are at stake, it helps to use everything at your disposal to make your life easier. This includes a good system you can rely on to track your progress. So that's right now. That was my time. If you have any questions, I mean, I believe we have some time for that. Otherwise, you're always free to contact me. All my contact information is right there. If you want more info, schedule a demo, share your experiences, that's my phone number and my email. And thank you very much for listening. I hope that any of this was helpful for you guys. Is there anything else we can do?
I'm going to unmute everybody for a second, so it makes it really easy. If y'all have any questions, just go ahead and ask Jesus before you check out.
Well, then I'll just see y'all then on Tuesday.
Trying to get everybody undone.
All right, bye.
I can't hear it.
It's too much, too much. All right, I don't see any more questions coming in.
And you know what?
Go ahead.
I saw one question come in.
All the materials will be available in an email I will send to all registered participants with a link from the recorded video that will go into YouTube, and you'll have that probably within the hour.
Yeah. We can certainly hold out for more questions. I think one thing that we would like to do is say, wow, I want to say that is the most enthusiastic description of HMIS and how it can be used than I think I've ever heard.
Thank you. I hope yeah, I mean, I was trying to make it as because I was a case manager. I know how important data is now. Not so much when I was in there, because I always saw it like, well, this is something else I have to do, but I'm already with the client. But it is important, and it is very interesting that only after you see the whole picture is when you actually can sit down and be like, you know what? Yes, as much as I help these clients with providing them with a check to pay the rent, I mean, I have to keep track of that. It's important. Otherwise, I mean, it's almost like it doesn't count.
Right. And from a planning perspective, I'll add that as HUD is looking a lot more at system-level performance across the continuum of care, not only what's happening in any one agency, this HMIS data is even more critical to see as a community how many people are becoming homeless for the first time, how many people are falling back into homelessness more than one time, how long is their length of stay in homeless situations, and all of this we can't know without having the data. So I know as a case manager you may not work on that level, but for those of us who do work on that level, your data entry into HMIS is so valuable because we couldn't do it without you. Did we get any more questions, Craig?
I think we are good. Uh-oh. Did I move something?
Maybe you minimized your screen. I'm not sure.
I didn't see anything.
All right. I think Craig took screen control back. Craig?
Well, once more, I mean, if everybody's still listening here, want to extend I thank you for listening. And if you have any other questions, you can always feel free to call me or email me. I'm always available. And if I'm not, I'll find the time. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Mary.
Yes.
So I guess if there's anything else, I mean, we'll still be here.
Yeah, well, I'll say our next Bloc talk is scheduled for July 29th. That is a Tuesday. The topic will likely be something related to housing, since we haven't touched as heavily on that topic yet. So we encourage you to join us for that. And as Craig said, he will be sending the recording of this webinar to you. And we thank you very much for participating.